In a quiet suburban neighborhood, life was peaceful until the new HOA president turned order into chaos. When Judge Elias Navarro's own driveway was declared illegal and fines piled up, a hidden web of corruption unraveled. This is a story about betrayal, community, and the fight for justice when those meant to protect turn against you. Get ready to discover how one neighborhood took back their home from greed and deception. Judge Elias Navarro never imagined his quiet suburban life in Maple Ridge Estates would turn into a battleground for years. The community was peaceful. Neighbors waved across manicured lawns, and the biggest concern was the occasional barking dog or a lost package. Elias had come to cherish the calm after decades in the courtroom after all. Judging others was exhausting, and Maple Ridge was supposed to be his refuge. That calm shattered one rainy evening when Elias returned from a late court session to find his Tesla immobilized with a bright orange boot clamped to the front wheel. A garish pink notice stuck under his windshield wiper read, "Unauthorized parking. $350 fine." The catch: the car was parked on his own property. Elias's jaw tightened as he looked up to see neighbors awkwardly gathered nearby. Mrs. Patel, the sweet woman from the local Indian restaurant who often brought him samosas, wrung her hands nervously. "Judge Navarro, they got you too," she whispered. The source of the chaos was Barbara Whitman, the newly elected HOA president. Barbara, a woman who had arrived on a wave of promises about community improvement, had quickly revealed a darker agenda. She claimed Elias's concrete driveway extension was unauthorized. But Elias had permits, inspections, and email confirmations from the acting HOA secretary. Barbara dismissed all of it. Her reasoning was vague, dismissive, and unsettling. The architectural committee had denied it, she said, and the letter explaining the denial had maybe got lost in the mail. It was clear Barbara was playing a different game. The neighborhood tensions grew quickly. Barbara unleashed a barrage of new rules and fines that no one had seen before. She handed out thick packets of updated HOA bylaws, supposedly passed months earlier, filled with restrictions that felt arbitrary and designed to punish. Elias's legal instincts, sharpened by years on the bench, screamed that something was deeply wrong. Late that night, as thunder rolled in the distance, Elias found a folded note slipped beneath his porch light. The handwriting was hurried, but clear. "She's gone too far. More of us want to help. Meeting at the Patels. Tomorrow." At that gathering, frustration turned to outrage. About 20 neighbors squeezed into the Patels' living room, their faces a mix of fear, anger, and disbelief. Frank Whitman, Barbara's own husband, spoke quietly but with conviction. He revealed a secret that shocked everyone. Barbara had been fabricating violations and inventing fines. Worse, she had funneled over $42,000 into a secret compliance fund that only she controlled. Receipts told a story of betrayal, Louis Vuitton bags, cruise vacations, even a kitchen remodel. All paid for with the community's money. Elias had his clerk pull official county records to compare with the HOA documents Barbara handed out. The differences were staggering. Entire sections of bylaws had been added, rules created out of thin air. Her actions weren't just unethical, they were illegal, fueled by a sense of justice and community loyalty. Elias called an emergency meeting at the community rec hall. That night, nearly 100 neighbors packed the space, buzzing with anticipation and nervous energy. Elias projected both sets of bylaws side by side, highlighting each contradiction in red. He displayed receipts, played recordings of Barbara threatening a disabled veteran with a lien over a crooked mailbox. Frank Whitman stood and revealed photo evidence of extravagant vacations paid for by HOA funds. The room grew tense. Barbara, realizing the noose tightening, tried to escape, but was stopped by two plainclothes sheriff deputies Elias had quietly arranged to be present. Her screams echoed through the hall. "You can't do this! My brother-in-law's on the city council," but the truth was louder than nepotism. She was arrested on charges of fraud, harassment, and misappropriation of community funds. In the days that followed, the neighborhood rallied. The corrupt HOA bylaws were torn up. Fake fines were declared null and void. Residents approved every ramp, hoop, and driveway extension. Barbara had tried to ban. The community's spirit, once fractured by fear, was now bound tighter than ever. At the next HOA election, Mrs. Rodriguez, the woman Barbara had fined for growing a vegetable garden, was voted president. Her first act, hosting a block party celebrating freedom and solidarity. As the sun set, casting golden light across Maple Ridge Estates, Elias held a cold drink handed to him by a neighbor. From across the street, a young boy shouted, "Judge Navarro, you saved our homes!" He smiled, but shook his head. No, he thought we saved each other. The experience had transformed more than just the neighborhood. Elias realized that justice wasn't only about rulings from a bench. Sometimes, it was found in courage, the willingness of a community to stand together against corruption and fear. Barbara Whitman's fall wasn't just a legal victory, it was a testament to the power of unity, the strength found in neighbors who refused to be silenced. And for Elias, it was a reminder that sometimes the loudest gavel is the one wielded by ordinary people standing up for what's right.